Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can also reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a cool telephone that Western Electric made, and Liz sent this telephone in. And this is the rotary version of this telephone. And this was kind of Western Electric's country wall, and there was some push button ones of this telephone also. But this is a very sought after telephone, and although it's a remake, it was a really well remade telephone, and it's a very sought after telephone. The problem with these telephones is they do have different problems that they come in with, but one major problem that they usually come in with is this handset has got some weight to it, and it was made really well, but 8 out of 10 times when you start dropping these, or they drop on the floor, what happens is this cup that the transmitter is in will hit the floor. And when it hits the floor, this is what ends up breaking out. And this, we're kind of in the middle of a repair here. What happens is this is basically all plastic here, and this will all bust out. And what you see here is me in the middle of a repair. This is epoxy, and in a lot of these, when they're broken badly, what I do is I insert metal into the inside of them, and then you have to cut your hole. And there is a couple of little prongs that stick out the sides of where this nut is supposed to fit and hold the voice capsule encasement on it. And so basically these are just some parts that are in the inside. There's your cap, there's a washer, a nut, the transmitter capsule. And really very often what happens is when that breaks off, both of these transmit wires, as you can see, these are the old ones. We're in the middle of a kind of a repair here. Here's the old ones, and it just breaks both wires off, or breaks one of the wires off. And this handset can be taken apart. You have to also remove the receiver, and I've already done all that and went inside this handset and basically took everything apart and re-soldered on back new transmitter wires. And so it kind of, repairing one of these kind of gets entailed, because you have to go into the telephone handset and basically repair the wires, the lines out. And so there is quite a bit to it. It's kind of a pain in the neck to take this apart, and that's just something that you have to do, because it usually breaks these wires off. And so I see this a lot. This is a pretty common deal with this telephone, this model of telephone. And the reason being is this handset had some weight to it, and it'll end up breaking this cup that the transmitter sets into. Now basically we are in the middle of a repair, and what we're going to end up doing here is I'm going to end up sanding this epoxy down, and once this epoxy's on here, and there's a metal piece of metal inside here, you shouldn't have any more problems with it. But like anything, I mean, if you drop it enough, you're going to get into a situation where you're going to damage the handset again. But this, under normal conditions, should do the trick, and it should hold up very well. So we'll have to sand this all down, get it nice and even, and we will repaint this, and then we'll get our receiver capsule back into the cup where it belongs, and then it'll be mounted on the telephone. So it's just one of those things. Another thing I guess I ought to mention is you just can't go anywhere and get this handset. This was a pretty common problem with this handset, and what happens is you can't find this handset. if you find this handset anywhere by itself and it's in good condition, you'll be very, very lucky. So really, you have to just repair this handset because you can't get any parts for this, and I don't believe you'll ever find this handset just hanging out somewhere where you can just go ahead and buy it. And you'd have to buy a whole telephone, and chances are then you'd have to take the handset away to use it for parts, and it just the telephone's worth too much to be parting it out like that. And you'd just get lucky, you know, if you found one of these for parts and you got it cheap, because these are pretty sought after. Generally, people want these. They call the shop all the time about them. They're looking for them. They want them, or they want to get them repaired. And so when it comes down to a problem like we're having here, and I see pretty often with a handset that's broke there at the transmitter capsule, you just have to basically repair it. And there's a lot of work to it. It's not a simple process. You have to insert metal into it. That's the best way to do it. And it has to be epoxied, and then there's a lot of body work here that has to be done. So it's not something simple. I've seen people will send these in, and I've seen a lot of repairs gone bad. I prefer to get a hold of them, like I got a hold of this one before the repair goes bad. I've seen where they've tried to do different things here, and they've just only made the situation worse, because when it gets dropped again, the repair doesn't hold up. And any repair is going to be damaged if you drop it enough. But this is about the best way I found to repair them. You need to insert metal and epoxy inside this cap. We've gotten them in all kinds of conditions where this has been broken half, and I mean, there's just different various ways that you have to repair them, but there's a little bit to the process when you do it. So I thought this would give you a good look at a Western Electric's version of like a Country Wall or a Country Store telephone, and it is a very sought after model, and anyone would like to have one of these, I'm sure. So this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can get us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. And this is the rotary version, and they're a very cool telephone. But they did come in touch tone also. Just depended on which one you wanted and what part of the country you were in at the time when they were selling these. And a lot of times customers got this from their telephone company, AT&T or Southwestern Bell. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.